Hi everyone, it's Christy from Green Eyed Tarot. Today I'm here just to film a fun, chatty, sort of slow, nice, easy video just about some things that I have been enjoying lately. So not just decks, although there will be decks, but just some other things that I've been having fun with, that I've been exploring. Just stuff that I have been liking lately, I guess. And that's it. There's really no rhyme or reason, just a chatty little what's been up in my neck of the woods in terms of things that have been bringing me some joy. Joy is something that we all need to focus on right now, I feel. And I feel like finding joy in the littlest of things and being super unapologetic about it is sort of the way to go. I actually just watched a video. I'll link it in the description. It was Marlena Theresa. If you don't follow her channel, definitely go check out her channel. She's just an amazing person. It's just fun to listen to her and to follow along with all the things that she shares. And she shared a video about being unapologetic, and that's sort of been my mentality for a while now. I'm just sort of unapologetic about everything. I enjoy what I enjoy. I like what I like. The things that bring me joy are the things that bring me joy, and I kind of don't really care about what anyone thinks about it. So that's where we're at. So I'm just sharing. This is a sharing video. It's a Sunday afternoon. All my chores are done. I've cleaned the house. The laundry's done. I feel like I've been productive enough for today, and now I'm sitting down just to chat at and with the lovely people in this community. I have an iced coffee, a beautiful iced coffee that I just made, and my cup does say "what the fucculent" on it. So excuse my language, but it has succulents on it, and it says "what the fucculent." Again, another just sentiment that I feel like is one that I've been experiencing quite a bit in these last few weeks, but we're just going with it. It's a delicious iced coffee. It's a little bit of a rainy day, so a perfect day for just a little hangout and chat about things that have been bringing me joy, like I said. So in no particular order, I'm just showing things. Like I said, definitely some decks, but just some things that I've been really enjoying. So one of the things that I've been kind of liking, more recently, or I should say in different ways maybe, is just playing with little things, little things. I don't know how else to describe that. Playing with little things. So I have a couple of things here to talk about. So I have this bag here. It's called Beguiling buttons. And I cannot remember where I got this from. It was on Etsy. I will definitely link it below. As you can tell, I'm completely not prepared for anything, but it's I got it on Etsy. They're called Beguiling buttons. And they're sort of just this really open-ended system. And I ended up getting these really at a deep discount because apparently they're what do you call it? Seconds or damaged. I don't know. There's really no problem with them at all. A couple of them are a little blurry, but you can still, they were misprinted, it looked like. So, but I got them for $5. And it came with two sets, two complete sets. They're doubles, they're the same thing. But they come with two complete sets because you could play a memory game with them. Anybody remembers memory from when we were younger? Concentration, right? Or whatever. I don't know, memory match, those games. But it says writer's block, storytelling, divination. You could kind of do whatever you want with these. So, but they're just really fun. So I'll show you. And they make a really pleasing sound. So sometimes I like to just dig my hand in here. There's a sensory experience here, but you can see they're so they're they're little wooden, I guess buttons. They're kind of old school wood buttons. And so you can see, I'll kind of show you. I'll see, they're kind of small. Well, this one just says thank you, but I left it in there because, why not? So they are numbered, and I probably need my reading glasses. I do this every single time. Like, I forget. I act like I'm not an old person. I literally act like I'm not an old person and I don't need these things. I think it's time to just commit and like accept the fact that I need one of those chains where they hang around my neck. Like, I'm pretty sure we're at that point because I literally never remember, okay, to have them. So let's put these on so I myself can see with it. So this looks like it's like a bird flying the bird cage. And then it has a number 72. Oh, here's this looks like a giraffe. 18. I forget how many are in here. Again, like preparation. Why would I do that? Why would I be prepared? So there's 88. So this is 2 sets, a double set. So it has this little booklet. It kind of tells you. So let's see. The little birdie, 72, birdie flying the cage. It says, bird escaping cage, freedom, opportunity opening up. So it kind of makes sense. It's like very simple keywords. I feel like too, you could just use these however you want. Like you could just make up your own intuitively. This looks like, so this 27 is a tree. Here's a squirrel. 29, like squirreling to me, I would be like, oh, a squirrel, like squirreling away resources, right? Maybe like, oh my goodness, shoring up as it goes flying across. They are like, I don't know, they're really smooth, so they do go flying if you're not careful or if you're just clumsy like me. But here's number 12. It looks like people dance. Does that look like people dancing to you? Let's look it up. 12. I like it because like, oh, dancing petroglyph. We go way back. Oh, I like that. That's so cute. Old friends. It says we go way back, old friends. So it's supposed to be like cave drawings. So here's a rose. We have a fork it looks like in a sausage. This is like outer space. So yeah, oh, here we have a match, see? Memory match. So like you can use these for so many different things. Here's a camera, number 46. They're just so cute, aren't they? I have to figure out where my squirrel went. He just flew away from me. So anyway, so there's a ton of them. And sometimes I just like, we'll be watching TV at night and I'm just like, I like lean over to my partner. I'm like, pick one, pick a button. And then we just have fun, like with a button he picked. And I don't know, it's just making me happy for whatever reason. They're tiny. Does anyone ever get into that mood where you just like to play with little things? Like little tiny things? I like this one, Easy Does It. When I was home recovering from my surgery, I picked 2 and it was really funny. It said I got Easy Does It and I got the couch potato one, and I was like, thanks. Like, yeah, I know. Easy Does It. I was like, don't worry. I'm following what you tell me. It said Easy Does It couch potato. It was so funny. Oh, look at the bear. My favorite. Number 10. Okay. So anyway, that's Beguiling buttons. They're fun, and I will definitely find it and link. I think they're still available. There's other ones too. So the creator of these made other, which I might try to get my hands on. I forget what they're called. This one's Beguiling buttons. There's another one that I'm definitely gonna check out. So I will link it in the description box in case anyone else likes to play with little things. But like charm casting, same thing, like runes, like any type of casting you can definitely do with these Beguiling buttons, and they're just fun. And then so I have a set of dice here. I know Dawn Michelle and Lisa Pepez created the dice, like they were working on, and they created that dice casting guide, which I totally checked out and was totally playing around with. So I've been loving that. This was a set that I got. It's an Elvish set, so it looks like Elvish writing. So cool. Kind of like Elvish, sort of like Lord of the Rings type. And I got these, they were like on clearance at Barnes & Noble. I think I got them for $5, which is amazing. So this is, again, like the, I guess kind of like D&D dice, or I don't know, I don't play D&D, but I know that they use dice. And so it's kind of like a set like that. But they created a system for dice casting with tarot. Really cool. Again, I'll try to find the video, check it out. was a lot of fun. So I've been enjoying that, like just casting dice or just kind of like making up my own way to do it. Like if I roll, I'll roll something and I'll be like, that's the number of the card in the deck I should find. Like it's just another layer of like ways to play with tarot or oracle and dice. And they're just fun. They're fun to hold and put back and forth in your hands. So I keep them in this little crow dish. And then I have a charm casting set, which I keep in this. Is anyone else obsessed with, what do they call this? Primitive pottery. Like, see how completely imperfect it is? I got this at like a little, like a little vintage, like not a vintage store. What am I trying to say? Oh my gosh, like a thrift store, like an antique store that sells, and someone obviously probably made this in like pottery class because there's initials on the bottom of it, but I love it. And it's primitive. It's a primitive pot. It's got like grain in it. I'm obsessed. Like every time we're in little shops, I pick up. I love the imperfections. I love how raw like it feels. Anyway, okay. So primitive pottery. But this is a charm casting set. This is a set from the lovely Danny Mystic that creates charm sets. I think that I feel like she still has them available. But this is a complete charm set. This was like, there's like different, she had like different themed ones at one point. And again, this is super fun. Just to, again, charm casting. This was like a Victorian type set. I believe this is, I don't know. It's amazing. It has such great things in it. So as you can see, it's a charm casting set. We have like a tree, a key. Here's a fairy. Oh, another teddy bear, my favorite. An apple, a ladybug. Here's a squirrel. And then there's other ones in here too. So every time I get a little charm, I throw it in my charm. So this one says spirit. This was in a package that I got from Bridget's Grove, I believe. So sometimes they throw charms in there, which is amazing. This looks like a barn. There's a pentacle. There's a cross. Here's another key. There's a bird. Who's that? Oh, this is like a little dress. So this was like more of like a Victorian set. There's an anchor. Here's a well. There's like a bunny or a hare. So yeah, so this was a charm set that was from Danny Mystic. And again, this is it doesn't come, this is like intuitive. So here's a windmill, whatever you sort of ascribe to or you think the meaning is, it's a great way to add layers again to your readings with tarot and oracle. I just think they're really beautiful, really fun. I love this one. This is a deer, like a stag. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? But yeah, I forget, like I said, what theme this was. I think it was like a Victorian. Here's a mirror type theme. And like I said, I believe she still makes them. Don't quote me on that. Why was I forgetting a hummingbird? I literally blanked on the name of that. So that's the charm casting set. Again, just another little tiny things to play with. Little trinkets. It's just been my thing lately, is just playing with little trinkets and things like that. So charm casting is fun. Dice is fun. The beguiling buttons, that's fun. Not sure why, but that's it. Lately, it's just been little tiny things, and I'm just going with it because why not? And that goes in my primitive pottery, which I love. So these are some of the other ones. The Beguiling Buttons creator, like they threw them in the package, like almost like a sample. So these are double-sided ones. These are not wooden. They feel like acrylic, like, or plastic or something. But these, like this one has like the I don't know what you call that. Like the director's thing, the cut, and that one's a record player, and this one's like a shooting star and a rocket. So, and they're numbered, but they're double-sided. So this is like another kind of like casting tool or like divination or little trinket set that they have. But it's different than that one. So, but that's the other ones I'm going to check out. That was like they threw them in the package, which I thought was neat. like a little free sample. Definitely got me interested in it, so that's cool. Let me take a sip of coffee. Oh, that's good. Okay, so yeah, little things, little trinkets. I've been really into that. I've been really sort of bonding and like using my crystals a lot. I mean, I always do. I have them literally like all over my house. There's rocks everywhere, crystals everywhere. I just absolutely adore their energy and just sometimes just like holding them. So when I was recovering from my surgery, I like one in particular was this this moss agate half moon. I almost called it a star, half moon, that I have. And moss agate is really is a stone that's really good for like people who are recovering from an illness or who are kind of like recovering at home. It's a very balanced, like it's a very balanced stone. Very obviously it's moss agate, so it's very grounding, which I tend to like, really earthy, really grounding type stones and crystals. But this one, it was like just holding it in my hands. It's in like such a nice size for me. It fits like right in the palm of my hand. And just, so that's something that's just sort of been bringing me grounding and just healing, healing energy and balance, sort of bringing me back into balance after you've been home for a little while. After I'm used to going out to work every day. So being home, it sort of like threw me all off. I felt so, I know I had to do it and it was important for me to rest and like recover, but I don't know. I felt like off balance and just sort of out of my usual routine. So this was something that sort of like helped me ground. So that's a moss agate. So my crystals, another one that I like absolutely adore is this garnet, which is beautiful. It's like raw. I tend to like raw stones. I feel like I've talked about this. I have a lot of like palm stones and tumbled stuff, but I do tend to gravitate towards more of the raw. They just feel more like part of the earth, like obviously they all have come from the earth, but they feel so much. So this one's like polished to like a point. Like, so it's like a free form almost. So there's a smooth side where you can kind of really see the colors, this dark maroon, like really dark, rich color. But then there's just this rock, that's so like the unfinished. And the kind of a number of reasons. I love these type of stones. I love this one in particular. Garnet is my birthstone, but garnet is another like very earthy, very, to me, this garnet is like strength. Like I just think of strength. So, I was needing this to kind of give me that strength, but it's also got grounding. But I love like stones like this that are like unfinished, like only half formed, because I feel like it really does represent like me, or just humans in general, like, that I'm constantly developing and changing, that I still have sort of a rough, raw, like, innate, things about me. And then there's like still learning I'm doing, but there's a really polished side of me too that has like reached a certain age and a certain amount of wisdom and a certain amount of knowledge. And, like I've made certain strides in my life and things like that. So in my career and so this just reminds me of that. So this is this is just a garnet, which I just love. I love this stone so much. It just sits like right here. I pick it up all the time. I'm always playing with it. And like I said, I love that sort of raw end, both of those. But yeah, those are two that I've just been, so moss agate and garnet, super grounding. I've been just enjoying that. What's the other thing? What's something else? Oh my gosh. So something that I've been obsessed with is this game called Paris Pastries. I think I talked about it. I feel like I spoke about this on another video that I did. I talked a little bit about it. This is a game. It's a card game. It's called Paris Pastries. I'm going to like just quickly try to explain it and not spend too much time on it. But I feel like for people who like cozy games, like I feel like a lot of people that I watch on YouTube, like the cozy game, like on their Switch or like on their computer, and computer games, I enjoy a good, I enjoy playing Xbox. There's lots of games like that I like, but I just like sort of card games, good old fashioned card game. And so this game is called Paris Pastries, and basically the object of the game is to make recipes using ingredients that you have to satisfy customers, like to meet customers' needs. So we have ingredients, and like I feel like anyone who likes, I don't know, maybe I'm like stretching a little bit, but anyone who likes tarot and like oracle, I feel like would like this game. And like I said, maybe it's a stretch, maybe that's just a huge assumption I'm making, but anyway, so you have, that's the object of the game. So you have like a baker's case, so there's like 5 recipes available at any given time, and there's 5 customers waiting in line. So you have like, you put out 5 customers. So here we have, I'm trying to find like the different ingredients, because like everyone has like an ingredient that they like. So just to demonstrate, no fresh fruit we have, okay, honey. So there's always 5 customers. We have vanilla, almonds. There's always 5 customers in line. I guess like you can consider them like in line. And they all have like an ingredient that they like, that they prefer, like in their recipes. So Catherine likes honey, Danielle coffee. We have fresh fruit, vanilla, and another vanilla. I thought I put a different one. Anyway, we have like chocolate, there's like almonds, and then there's 5, like I said, recipes. And some recipes have higher points. So some recipes are worth like 10 points, some are 3, some are 5. The really complicated ones obviously are like going to be more points. So like this croquembouche is like, it's like pastry, it's like pastry dough, pastry cream, chocolate almonds, and spiced candies, like spiced nuts and candies or something like that, spiced fruits and candies. So that's going to be a little bit more, because spiced fruits and candies, or there's not that many of those in the deck. So then you, every turn, you can either make a recipe or you do what they call the baker's gambit. So the baker's gambit is like you pick ingredients from a big deck that's in the middle. So like here I got spiced and candied fruit, puff pastry, and you keep picking until, but if you get a double, then you have to put back everything but 1 card. So I would have to put back like 2 cards, and that's it. So the gambit is like you're taking a gambit that you're not going to get a repeat. So that's that's your turn. So then you have all your ingredients now in front of you. So I have eggs, chocolate, pastry cream, coffee, puff pastry, spiced and candied fruit. So then I see on my turn what recipe I can make and how many customers I get. So that's how you get points. You would do like, if I made the croissant, let's just say, I would get 3 points and then 1 point for every customer who likes chocolate, let's just say. So every customer that, like when I made that, if they're in line, I would take them out and then new customers would appear in the line. That was very convoluted how I explained that, but that's it. That's it. This is Paris Pastries, and you're probably thinking she's lost her mind. But it is so fun. My mom loves to play this game, so my mom and I play this game. Usually this is like our Sunday afternoon activity, is Paris Pastries. We love it. It's just so much fun, and like the card play is so easy, and it's like relaxing, cozy. Sometimes we eat pastries while we're playing, you know what I mean? Because now I'm hungry. I'm looking at Madeleines and I'm looking at all this cake and stuff. And so sometimes we'll eat we'll have little pastries, and we'll have tea and we'll have coffee while we play Paris Pastries. And it is so much fun. So this is something that has been just a really, when I was recovering from surgery, I mean, I got it. It's been since before that, but definitely while I was recovering, she came over a few times and we played, and it just made me feel better. And it kind of made me forget about some things. So that's Paris Pastries. It's so fun. I absolutely love it. I really like it. And then, okay, and not to give it away, but they have another game. This company that created this game has another game called Poultry Party, and I will be getting that. So it's based on a poultry farm. It's set on a poultry farm. So I will be getting Poultry Party because I have to. But it comes with a really good instruction manual. It kind of explains everything really well, has the components, how you set it up, like I was kind of how I put it out. You put the 5, and then, you get like baking tool cards too. So like you get to choose 2 baking tools, and it has like a boost on it. So like it's just you could pick any 2, and some of them are one time and some of them are permanent. So you can use them throughout the whole game. And then it explains the gameplay and everything. So once you learn it, it's really easy. And like I said, the gameplay is quick. It is really an enjoyable way to just relax. It's for 2 to 6 players. It's for ages 8 and up. So, you could definitely play it with children, but it is the ultimate like cozy game, and it's just really fun. So that's Paris Pastries. Again, I'm obsessed, and I'm going to stop talking about it now. So that's something that has definitely been like, all right, let's talk about some decks. Let's see. I have a couple, these are just random, like these are decks that I've just been finding comfort in, just enjoying, even just flipping through. So one of them really it has a kind of like nothing to do with, this is more to do with my work, my job. So this is the Live Your Values deck by Lisa Congdon and Andrea Niculescu. Sort out, honor, and practice what matters most to you. So I don't use this as like a oracle necessarily. I'm not using this in the way that I wouldn't be using this in the way of like I would use a traditional oracle. So the reason I bring this out is I just want to talk about it because I think I think it could be an amazing tool. So I picked this up because one of the part of my job that I do is I design professional development and learning opportunities for early childhood educators, for early childhood leaders, for just people in the field, people who work with young children in different capacities, and work with infant and early childhood mental health. So one of the things I do is, as I am a trainer, I offer professional development, and so I was thinking about doing a training on about values and how values impact the work with young children, how they impact and inform the environments we set up for children, whether it's in a childcare center or someone's home, someone who is a group family provider who sets up a childcare program in their home, preschool programs, early childhood classrooms in school districts, people who are serving pre-K age children, things like that. So just whatever space, like how our values and like tied into sort of like our mission statement, the culture that we set up as the adults, setting up space. So I've been thinking a lot about doing that. And then I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. And then this is sort of going to be how I build, this is going to be like the center of what I build this training off of. I had already had ideas about it, but now we have cards that we can use within the space during like a training session or professional development, that will help us explore what values are important to us. So it comes with this, and I think there's a book. I believe these authors wrote a book by the same name, and I could be making that up completely, but I feel like there's definitely like something more in depth, I think, about this. But this is really like thinking about core values, and they talk about it as like a therapy tool, a tool that is used within therapy, within psychotherapy, and I can definitely see that. But I love this because I feel like it can be used in so many different ways. So this like they introduce in this booklet like about the founders and how Live Your Values came to be. And then it talks about like identifying, like placing the cards into the matters most to me, matters some, and does it matter to me piles, right? So like going through it and like really sort of making those distinctions of like, these matter the most, I matter in some, and then take the matters most and set the other two aside, lay out all of the matters most cards and pick down, narrow it down to top 10, right? So this is really honing in on what our core values are. And when we think about work, and I'm just thinking about this in like terms of work, the work that people are doing, I'm looking, and this is Chronicle Books, by the way, and it is a 78 card deck. So interestingly enough, but it is definitely not a tarot deck, but, it's, if we don't know like what our values, like how do we know where we want to go, right? If we don't know where we're starting from, if we don't know what's important to us, if we don't know where we want to put our energy and what we want to sort of hold at the center, the core of like what we're doing, how do we know where we want to go? So that's sort of how this came about. As we sort of talk about it in my own organization. We're a nonprofit. We are a private nonprofit, but we are a nonprofit, and we talk a lot about like what is our mission and like how are we living it every day and sort of holding to that. So, and in the space we're in right now as a nonprofit, is so much uncertainty, and there's lots of things happening that are really challenging our values, and we need to stick to our values, right? As a nonprofit, as as an organization that's serving other people, that needs to advocate. So I don't need to say more about that, but we definitely do. So here we have activism. So these are in order. We've been kind of looking at them to see how I'm going to use this, and but they are in order. So this is activism. So it defines what activism is: to work vigorously toward political or social change. And then on the back, it gives you ideas, right, for ways to live this value. So choose one or two causes that feel important to you. Research ways you can get involved. Choose one cause per year on which to focus your time and energy. Provide space in your everyday life for the people and causes you want to support. Help connect people with needed resources. Remember, it's not about you. Engage others in making change instead of attempting to be the hero. So this is got some really great, like juicy, like bits of, information about each value. So here we have adventure, ambition, and I love how it defines it, because sometimes when we're thinking about these things, we have in our minds like what we think it is, but we're like, I'm really confused. Like, is this the value I'm thinking of? Is this the word I'm thinking of? So I like that it defines it. Here we have assertiveness, beauty, career, civic engagement. So that's a little bit different than activism, right? So what is the difference? How can I be civically engaged? Then we just have civility. I know a lot of people who need to focus on this value. We need to define this. So to exercise respect, politeness, and courtesy toward other people in both actions and words. Collaboration, compassion. And I do love the illustrations, just as like a side. I think they're really cute. They're really simple. I like the fonts. Like I like the big fonts, but to me, this is very inviting. It's really accessible. It's like nice and big. I like that the cards are, big to be able to fit this, obviously, information on it. Courage, creativity, diversity, curiosity is a big one for my job. We have this like whole, stance of curiosity that we come from. It's like grounded in the work that we do. It's something that I try to live by, to desire to learn or acquire knowledge about everything and or about specific topics. So always keeping that stance of curiosity and asking ourselves, I wonder why they're reacting this way. I wonder why, everything, like keeping that wonder. Diversity. Let me just keep saying it. Diversity. And that's something that, again, organizations are finding it hard to navigate the climate that we're currently living in. I'll just say that. Education, empathy, right? What's the difference between empathy and sympathy, right? And, being empathetic and empathic, like what's the difference between that? Environment, equality, excellence, forgiveness. Like, is forgiveness a value you are trying to live by? Fun, generosity. I just love all these, and I wasn't planning on going through the whole deck, but now that I am, I just think this can be such a great tool for individuals and for groups. Even if if this wasn't in the way that I'm describing it, in the space of a learning space or a shared a community of learners or things like that, even if it was just a group that you're a part of, and you wanted to do this as just a, or even like as a family. Like I could see this being a great conversation for families with, you know, children that are a little bit older, you know, preteens and teenagers. Like this brings up a lot of stuff. And like if we want to have open and honest conversations with our teenagers about where they're at and what they're experiencing and what is, you know, what is it to live a value, like to have values, like what do you value, you know, and how do you stick to it? How do you live by that? You know, I think this could be a great, like just a great thing. Again, as a therapy tool, like is how I believe it was designed and how they talk about it. Intuition, to have and trust your own knowledge, independent of reasoning processes. I like that, independent of reasoning process. So it's sort of like taking logic out of it a little bit. Like sometimes that's needed. Justice, kindness, knowledge, leadership, guiding others towards a goal. I like that. Love, like the trumpet. Loyalty, mindfulness. It's a chicken. Love that. Nonconformity. That's a good one. Ooh, nonconformity. Quick sip. Nonconformity reminds me of like the Hierophant. To question and challenge authority and norms. Oh my God, I just had this like great idea too. Okay. Openness. I had this great idea to like take these. Oh my God, I just had this when I said that about the Hierophant, to take these and like match them up with like meanings. Oh, this is going to be great. Find the meanings of like in the tarot. So like take optimism and be like, okay, so what cards would we identify with optimism? That's going to be an amazing exercise. Okay, let me know if anyone would want to see a video like that, like taking tarot and sort of the meanings, and also would want to participate. Because I feel like we're talking about community. We're talking about this sort of being a community type of, what I'm thinking of it as like a community type of activity. So like, what do people think of doing this as a community? Like where we go through them, maybe like it's a live and like we talk about, or maybe like anyone want to do a collaboration. You want to be a guest? I've never had a guest on my channel. Does anyone want to be a guest on my channel? And like watch, like if anyone just, there's going to be like no answer, and that's going to be fun. Like no one's going to want to be a guest on my channel, which is fine. That's okay. I entertain myself most of the time and I'm okay with that. But like, does anyone want to be a guest on my channel and want to do this? Because now I'm like super fired up about this. I just feel like we could totally, like resilience, respect, like we could totally match these up to the tarot and think about these as values tied to the tarot cards and the tarot meaning. Risk-taking, the Fool. Like, right? Like this is like a great keyword exercise. Okay, we're doing this. Let's do it. Oh, and there's also blank ones for you to do your own. There's blank ones back here, I believe. And then they have like the different, so matters to me, doesn't matter to me, so you can lay them out. And then there's blank ones so that you can create. You can actually create your own. Okay, so yeah, we're doing this. I don't know why I didn't think of this. Like it makes so much sense. But again, live your values deck. If anyone wants to do this, like let's do it. Anyone wants to, like I said, like collaborate on this, so we can do like a live where we like talk about and like give our thoughts on it, and everyone share like their thoughts and ideas about how to match up these values to the meanings of the tarot. Let me know. But that's the Live Your Values deck, which I talked about for way too long. But that's the Live Your Values deck. So something else, and I'm super, like I said, fired up about that, as you can tell. Something else, so another deck, or like that's just decks that I've been kind of really liking and enjoying. So this little Wolves Within by Rio Burton. Oh, this is a little, it's like a poker sized, I guess. I don't know. I don't play poker much, but I'm assuming this is like a poker size, I think, deck. It's linen, so, but this is the Wolves Within, and it sort of follows, it has like a main sort of character that's sort of connected to these wolves, but I adore wolves. Like, I mean, I love wolf energy. We go to the wolf sanctuary all the time. There's one in Pennsylvania. There's one in upstate New York. The Wolf Conservation Center. Been to the wolf sanctuary like so many times. Totally support them. Just wolves in general, fascinating, learning about sort of the ecology and how they contribute to the ecology and the landscape of certain areas. Like, there's a whole documentary about them being reintroduced into Yellowstone National Park, which is fascinating. Just when that balance is, the balance is not there, how it impacts like so many different parts of the ecological systems. So anyway, this is, so anything with wolves is like amazing to me. So we have Solitude. It's just a really great little deck. Wisdom. And I love it. And I love the artwork. It says Lust. So this is sort of like the character that's like within the whole deck. Secure, Whisper. Look at these wolves. Aren't they beautiful? I love the artwork. The Wolf. Here we have Earth. No. So we have like a yes and a no card. Growth. So it's a great little deck. There's no book. It's literally just a keyword. So you're just sort of, it's great to use for clarifiers for tarot. I'm trying to think like the decks I was using with it. I mean, it pairs like, I don't know, you can pair decks with anything that you want. There's really no rule for pairing. It's not like you can only pair this with certain decks. Like, pair it with whatever you want, but I'm trying to think which ones. Ooh, look at this one, Destruction. I'm trying to think which ones I've paired this with that have been good. I've been using it with the tarot of the Guiding Muse. Oh, the Nova Witch Tarot. This is like great with that. I don't have the Darkwood Tarot anymore, but I have a feeling this would pair really good with the Darkwood Tarot. Here we have the Crone, the Sun, Water, Depression, Magic. So yeah, this is a great little deck. Like, it's so small and compact. It's like you could throw it in like in your bag and take it with you. It's just like a regular deck of cards. But I'm so happy I found this. The Wolves Within by Rio Burton, available on Etsy. Like I said, I'll try to link everything. So that one I have been really enjoying. What else? Oh, so this is sort of like a funny one, but anyone who's a fan of The Office, like, we're huge fans of The Office. It's like ridiculous. We've seen the whole series like about a gazillion times. During COVID, I gave my partner, like, we couldn't really see anyone, so I threw him an Office-themed birthday party, just for us two, obviously, because we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't see anyone, but I threw him an Office-themed, because we were watching so much Office, too. Oh my God, we were watching so much of the show, too. We had already seen it 1,000 times, and we had watched it even more. And, so we had an Office. Anyway, we do Office trivia all the time. Like, Obsessed is it's like a next level. But this deck is like low key one of the best fandom decks I've ever seen. Like, if you are a fan of The Office, then this is, like I said, low key one. And this is completely unauthorized. Like, this was not authorized by anybody. I think it says it on here. This product is not associated with or authorized by The Office. We just really love it. So, I don't know. To me, that takes some balls. I don't know if they got in trouble for this. Smith Street Gift, it says on the bottom. I don't even think it says who the creators are because they're hiding. Like, literally, they weren't supposed to be doing this. So, yeah, it doesn't even have creators. But props. These are Office fans, 100%. They are also tarot enthusiasts. And like I said, so this is one of the best fandom decks I've ever seen in terms of the meanings. It says World's Best Boss. So if you're not an Office fan, you could definitely skip this. But if you're an Office fan, like, definitely. So this is Ryan, right? And so the Magician, it's like when you think about it, the magician, like Ryan always makes like always somehow lands on his feet. Like he always has, I feel like, a trick up his sleeve. Like I feel like he's always like, right? Like how does he get fired? Like he literally like I think was like arrested. I don't know what he was doing, right? He was doing fraud. He was like committing fraud as like the VP or whatever the heck his title was when he went to like corporate. And like how does he like come back to work? Like, right? How does he manage to end up back there? And like so I just feel like he is a magician. Like he literally knows, he like knows what he needs to do. He knows what tools he has. He knows how to use them effectively, right, wrong, or indifferent, even if you want to like hate him. Like the way he manipulates Kelly, like it's just like, it was a good choice. And the fool, like, of course, because, and like it had to be Michael. And again, it's not just because he's silly. Like he is silly and like he is like a jester, right? He's always trying to get everyone to laugh. He loves attention. He needs the attention, right? He's like craving it. But he also like, to me, he like there's like a dichotomy to him. Like he cares what people think, but then I think he doesn't, like, cause he just sort of like is who he is. And he is like kind of like a risk taker, even if it's not always like logic and stuff that he's using. I don't know. Judgment. So Judgment, again, if you like I said, if you don't watch the show, this is not going to make any sense, but this is Sprinkles. It's Dwight. It definitely makes sense. Oh, Robert California as the devil. Phyllis as the high priestess. Do you ever notice how Phyllis like drops these like little nuggets of wisdom? Like perfect. She's the high priestess, like 100%. Like she just will drop like these little nuggets. She's kind of like the wiser, right? She's like feels like everyone's mom, even though like I don't think she doesn't have any children of her own. But she feels like that sort of like, no, I don't know, like that she knows things and like she's smart and I don't know. And she sort of like flies under the radar, but like, you know, like she also has this like other like wild side that you know nothing about. Like that she like has this whole other, I don't know. I think it's perfect. And the Empress is Pam, of course. Pam's so motherly. Like she really is. Like I feel like she's, and then you have the Emperor, Dwight. He is. I mean, Dwight is pretty much stable. Well, I don't know about that. Like he's solid, right? Like he's simple. He's solid. I feel like he's always looking, even though he's like super like prickly and he's like super salty all the time. Like he's really looking out for everyone there. He really does care, even if he doesn't want you to know it. But like he's sort of like that solid foundation. He is like sort of the foundation, the rock of the office, right? I don't know. To me, he definitely is. Like that's Dwight. Oh my gosh, judgmental much? She should have been Judgment. But like Angela, yeah, I can definitely get with that. Oh, the Lovers of Wars. Oh my God. But like it's just, oh my God, it's Joe, Kathy Bates' character. Man, yeah, she doesn't slow down for nothing, right? She is like and like whatever she does, like she whatever she says is done, right? Like she's just like moving. But yeah, I mean, I think it's so good. Oh my God. Creed. He's got a lot of secrets. But I think, here's the Two of Wands and she's looking at the School of Design brochure. So like, if you don't, like I said, if you don't watch the show, but Pam, like, you know, really wanted to be a graphic designer and she got this opportunity to be in this program, like in New York, and she had to leave. And she'd be away for it, but she really wanted to go. And she was like really second guessing herself and making lots of excuses. And this was like her planning. It's a really well done. Look at this. Oh my God. Look, it's Dwight, Ryan, and do you woof? Oh my God. I can't. It's a really good, like, again, you can tell, like these are fans of The Office and they're fans of tarot and they understand the tarot meanings. And again, I think if you're an Office fan, obviously, it's like a no-brainer. But it is such a good, probably one of the best fandom, like I said, fandom decks I've seen. I don't buy a lot of fandom decks, but this one was like definitely because we're obsessed. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Quick sip. So something else, another deck that I've been really enjoying, and this is sort of like my foray that I was saying, like I'm sort of like digging into my past a little bit and sort of like revisiting some things. And so I got the Forest Folklore Tarot. I've had this for a little bit now, but I'm so excited. This is an out of print deck, so I do apologize, but you can get it. It's like there are copies floating around and you can get it for like a reasonable price. It's definitely like under $100. Like I ended up getting this one off of Etsy. AV Tarot Market has amazing used decks. This was sealed. Like the box is like a little beat up, but when I opened the cards, they were sealed, and I got this for an amazing price. So definitely check out AV Tarot Market. You know, the owner like buys decks too. So if you have decks you want to get rid of, you can reach out to them and you submit a form, and I've sold decks to that shop before, so definitely check it out. But this is the Forest Folklore Tarot, and I've been loving it. It is an older deck, like it's definitely like an old school. It's a US Games. I forget what year. I'm gonna have to look. I don't know what year. 2004. It's definitely old. Obviously 2004, but these are the backs. I love the backs. They're probably one of my favorite backs of any tarot deck of all time. Like I love the green. I just love it. Like if I was going to do a Lord of the Rings deck, like it would kind of have these colors to me, because it just looks like, I don't know, it just looks like a Lord of the Rings. And so it's like pretty much an RWS clone. I really like it though, because, nudity warning. Oh, it's just nudity everywhere. I always forget to give the nudity warning. But so the creator of this deck used the village where she lived, which was in England. It's Kessia Beverly Smith is the person who created the deck. And I'm trying to find in the guidebook, sorry, where she sold. Hold on. Okay, so it was illustrated and created in the area of New Forest in Hampshire, UK. And it has been designed to a woodland theme. So like it basically, she used this New Forest in Hampshire where she lived as the basis for creating the deck. And so then she created the deck based on people she knew in the village, like so her neighbors and just people she knew from where she lived, which I think is really nice. I think that's really special. Like the people that you see in the deck are all like sort of inspired by people that she knew in her life. And all the scenery, like this, it was all the landscapes were painted based on landscapes, because this New Forest is like right at the edge of a big forested area in the UK. So this is the Forest Folklore Tarot. I just really like it. I really, really, really like it. Something about it is really, there's like, it's got like humor, and it's got heart, but it's got whimsy, but it also feels like it's weird. Like, I don't know. It has a weird mix of like, I don't want to say it feels modern, but it feels like timeless almost. So like, it's almost like they're suspended. We don't know. This is like almost just like a fairy tale, right? It's sort of like not any kind of time period that we know. It's just sort of, I'm sorry, nudity alert. I like this Judgment card, but I really like it. It's one of those older US Games decks that really sort of speaks to me, and I think it's really pretty. And so like I love having it. I'm so glad that I have it. Since it was 2004, like since it's a 2004 deck, it was totally like giving me nostalgic vibes. Like I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of like when I first started reading tarot. It was earlier than that. It was earlier than 2004, but it reminded me of like the decks that were coming out, like my first decks and things. Like the Druid Craft was my second deck that I ever had, I think. So like it just gave me those vibes, and so I had to pull out this deck. It's actually two decks, and I'll kind of explain. They're two decks into one. So, and this is completely out of print again. I'm sorry. I hate showing out of print stuff, but it's because I pulled this. This deck made me think, oh my God, I have to get this deck out, and just kind of like a blast from the past. So this is the Well-Worn Path Oracle, and the Seekers. It's the Well-Worn Path and the Hidden Path. So it's two decks together. These decks are by Raven Gormasi and Stephanie Taylor, and they were illustrated by Mickey Mueller. But this is like the epitome of like the old school, like, art, like the, just from this time period. And again, I have to look and see. I'll look and see when this was. But this is like when I first started, like my first, when I it just reminds me of like my first foray into like witchcraft and like Wicca. And like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like a 16-year-old who was like just literally like silver raven wolf, right? Like to ride a silver broomstick, which I know it gets a lot of crap. Like I know, like looking back on it, there's like some problematic things in it, but really it is really a good, easy, like comforting, like it was comforting for me as a teenager who was like, I don't know what I'm doing, like in a way. And like, you know, sort of like the closeted witch, like, you know, I was in the broom closet and I didn't know what I was doing. And so this sort of like this deck, like, I don't know, it brought back that nostalgia for me. And I think that's why I was also drawn to it partly. And then, so this deck is like sort of it. So this is the crossroads. So it's a lot of, like the wheel of the year. So like a lot of, concepts and some of the pieces of witchcraft and pagan religions. And it does have a really like Wicca spin to it. Like, I'm not Wiccan, you know what I mean? I delved into that when I was in my exploratory phase of like, and it really wasn't for me, but some of the pieces of it really did resonate. So we have the sun, we have the stag-horned god. So as I was sort of building my goddess practice and like, as I got in, you know, I started to, you know, this helped me to identify like pieces of it and helped me want to learn more about it. And the guidebook is, and I'll kind of show that, and it really takes you through it. It's like a journey. There's like a meaning part, but then there's also like it's almost like a path working. It's like you come upon this woman in the forest. It reads like a story. It's like you are the traveler on the well-worn path. The fates, I love this card. The altar. So you have the pentacle. So it's like the tools that you would find on your altar, like tools of witchcraft. We have the wands. So like centers of power, like there's a lot of some of the terminology or like ideas or like rituals or things that come right from Wiccan, you know, the Wiccan religion, or just pagan religions, and things like that. So sacred grotto, here we have the crone. So you're going to have like the maiden mother crone. Here's Book of Shadows, the Summerlands, like, and what is the Summerland? Like, you know, what, this is sort of like afterlife, and what's the Summerland? Like, what it was like. So a lot of it is concepts, and it helped me dive into this and help me kind of like begin that, you know, again, it's the Traveler's Guide to the Well-Worn Path is the name of the book that goes with it. But these are two decks together. So I'm thrilled that I still have this. I'm thrilled that I never thought to get rid of this. I'm so glad that I didn't, because, you know, I wouldn't have been able to get it again. Fairy Door. I mean, it's so nostalgic for me. And then I was like, okay, like I put these two next to each other and I was like, all right, they're like born from the same era. I was like, yeah, this is like the same feeling. Like it was like forest folklore, like they were not illustrated by the same people, but to me, they're cut from the same cloth. I mean, they're from the same time period, I feel like. So this is the book. This is the Traveler's Guide to the Well-Worn Path. So this is one of the decks. Oh my God, it's like yellow from like, so this was, 2005. So 2004. Oh, my earbud just fell out. 2004, 2005. It was the same time period. So that, it was like literally a year apart. So there you go. They really are like from exactly the same. But yeah, this was like the early days of, but I love the book. And again, it's kind of comforting to like go through it and be like, so it has like and then it has this alignment. It's a cool fall day as you cross through the woods, making your way down the well-worn path. You see a cottage with a soft glow of light in the window and smoke coming from the chimney. A woman's voice calls to you to come in and warm yourself by the fire. So like, it's a path working, right? It's you journeying into. So that's that one. And then there's the Seeker's Guide to the Hidden Path. This was like the second deck that came out. This was 2007. So a few years later, they did a companion deck, like a second deck. And this one is definitely more of a teaching tool. And then there's like a shadow sign. So there's a divination, and then there's teaching that teaches you about, so other world. In ancient myth and legend, there's a realm known by such names as Avalon, Tirnanog, the Elysian Fields, or the Summerland. In pre-Christian European paganism, such realms are offered to the other world. So it's teaching you, right, about what's on the card. So this is definitely more of a teaching. This was like a journey. But either way, again, I'm so happy that I have this. I hate showing decks that are out of print. But then again, like I'm so happy I have it, and I do want to kind of like share it, because this is the nostalgia. This is like, so like this definitely brought me into that feeling. And then I pulled this out, and then I went and got this is one of my first, like, look at how yellow it is. I have 2 copies of this, believe it or not. Look, it was $5.99 at Borders. Do we remember when books were $5.99? Like Llewellyn, $5.99. But this was one of my first, like, To Ride a Silver Broomstick. And then this one was like, this is DJ Conway. This is 2004. No, this was written way earlier than that. This is 1990, copyright 1990, 16th printing 2004. So no, this has been around. Major Celtic. So this is like, but it has a lot of good information. And so in here's like, we have like runes. Like I pulled this out and was like, oh my gosh, it just brought me back to like those days of me in my bedroom, just sort of like poring over this stuff, trying to take it all in. So that's just something, the forest folklore, like, again, sort of sparked that, like, let's go back and kind of explore my roots. And I'm so glad I have hung on to like so many of the things from then, because it's kind of magical to kind of go back and like just remember the feelings that were coming up and just remember different things from that time period. So, and then the last thing, it's just like the longest video ever as usual. So the last thing is this deck, is just, it's literally the deck I've been using every day in conjunction with tarot decks. But, and can we talk about this wrap? It's just beautiful. This is from Moonlit Fae, double-sided wrap. So this is the Elizabeth on Earth Oracle. And again, it's just, this is just like, this is kind of like a soul deck for me. Elizabeth on Earth. It's just a soul deck. Like the keywords are so expansive, like, and it pairs so well with so many decks. But again, this is just a deck that like I will pull a card every day. It doesn't matter if I have a tarot deck out. It doesn't matter like what's happening, Counting Crows. I mean, it's so good in terms of intuition. And I just adore it, and I love the artwork. Again, it's something about it is like I said, it touches me in like a different way than some other Oracle decks. It feels super personal because it is. Yeah, obviously, the creator. I mean, most decks are personal, but to me on some level, like this deck with like the Dream Keepers, like it's 2 artists and 2 creators who just really poured years and their life and their creativity and their passions into these decks. And like, so together those 2 are so powerful. Like those 2 are so powerful together. Benevolent World. It's just beautiful. And this creator is in New England. This creator might be in New York or Connecticut. I can't remember now, but definitely my area, like my neck of the woods. And so it definitely feels like home, right? Because of like where I'm from, but it's just so good. And I just recently, literally, I don't even have it yet. I ordered like the expansion. I'm so excited. It's like an extra 24 cards. So this is going to be like mega deck. And I just couldn't be more thrilled because I just think this, and then like, I love these dryads that have been included. That was like an expansion, I think, at one point. Oh, I love this. It's just so beautiful. The card stock is like delicious. It's like that superior smooth. It's so easy to shuffle and handle. Oh my God, I love this. This is one of my favorite cards. Once Upon a Time. And again, reminds me of like our stories, right? Like how did we get here? the caged bird. It's just, I love the art. It's whimsical. It's ethereal. It's like, again, it reminds me so much of the Dream Keepers, like in a way. Permission. The greatest show on earth. It's so good. It's been bringing me so much joy. Again, it is a soul deck. If I had to, like, and never had to have another, like, this is like the only oracle deck I could have, it would be this one. Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of oracles I love, but this one is just something about it. It really just touches me in a way that, and I connect with it. Oh, I love this. Of course, it has a bear, so like, why wouldn't I? Truce, Dryad of Death and Rebirth. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Just this. Oh, she's just a brilliant artist. So this is Elizabeth on Earth Oracle. This has been out for a while, like I said, and then I just got the expansion. I don't know why I like slept on that, but I just got the expansion. I just ordered it, so I'm waiting for that to come. I was a different person then. Cameo appearance. Oh, it's so good. And I love the backs. They're just so simple, but like they have that antique feel. It's so good. And it's just been living. Like, it's been living next to me. I have it all the time. So that's the Elizabeth on Earth Oracle. It's been making me really happy. So that's it. I feel like that's enough. I've talked a lot. Oh my gosh, so chatty. But just wanted to share some things that have been, bringing me joy. And so thank you so much for being here and for sticking around. And my videos are always so long. I need to just work on that. But if you're doing chores, if you're cleaning your house, if you're sitting around having a cup of coffee, having a tea, maybe you'll want me to keep you company. And I so appreciate that. If you do want me to keep you company and you have me in your ears, that just means so much to me. So thanks so much. And I look forward to some exciting things coming in the future when I have time. So I'm trying to commit some time to some stuff for the YouTube channel. Again, if anyone in the comments, just let me know. Anyone interested in doing the Live Your Values live with tarot? I don't know. I'll think about that in terms of what we'll call it. But just to get together, does anyone want to be a guest? Does anyone want to collab with me? That sounds like so much fun. Because I feel like so many of you are such wonderful people and I really enjoy connecting with you. So thanks so much for being here and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.